notwithstanding, notwithstanding, notwithstanding. Let's talk about the word notwithstanding. This is a very useful word to know in English, and I'm happy to explain it to you in detail. So, the part of speech for notwithstanding is actually a preposition, but often used with the sense of an adverb or even a conjunction. When we use notwithstanding, it means that something happens or exists despite some other condition or circumstance. Think of it like a big despite. For example, if I say the company's profits increased notwithstanding the economic downturn, it means that the company actually made more money even though there was a recession. It's a very useful word to express contrast or unexpected results, and it's commonly used in formal writing, such as academic papers or business reports. The special note about using notwithstanding is that it should be followed by a comma if you're connecting two independent clauses. So, the company's profits increased notwithstanding the economic downturn, rather than the company's profits increased notwithstanding the economic downturn. Notwithstanding my dislike of spicy food, I still managed to eat an entire plate of chicken wings at the party last night. In this example, notwithstanding is used in a casual conversation to indicate that despite having a specific characteristic dislike of spicy food, something else happened, eating the entire plate. Notwithstanding the recent rain, our outdoor wedding ceremony was still able to take place under the beautiful tent we had set up. Here, notwithstanding is used in a formal context to emphasize that an event occurred despite an obstacle or challenge, the rain. Notwithstanding your concerns about market fluctuations, our company has seen significant growth over the past quarter, which is a testament to the effectiveness of our business strategy. In this example, notwithstanding is used in a business or academic context to indicate that despite potential challenges or reservations, something positive happened, and it's worth highlighting as an example of success. So you want to learn about this phrase without using notwithstanding. Okay, let me explain. Even though we're going to find an alternative way to express this idea, the concept itself is actually pretty simple. The main characteristic of notwithstanding is that it's used to say something will happen or be true even if something else happens or is true at the same time. It's like a strong and determined yes, no matter what other circumstances are around. Similar concepts or synonyms for this phrase would be despite, in spite of, or regardless of. They all mean that something will happen despite another thing being present. When you use this kind of phrase, it shows that the first idea is strong and won't be changed by the second one. Odd, odd, odd. Let's talk about the word odd. The part of speech for odd is primarily an adjective, although it can also be used as an adverb to mean in an unexpected way or strangely. In common usage, odd means something that is unusual, peculiar, or not typical. For example, I got an odd look from my friend when I told her the news. Here, the word odd describes the type of reaction she gave. It's worth noting that in British English, odd can also mean remaining after one has had a certain number. So if you're talking about having 3 cookies and there's one left over, it would be considered an odd cookie. This usage is more common in the UK than in American English, where people might use leftover or simply 1 cookie instead. Here are 3 practical example sentences using the word odd along with their respective contexts. In formal situations, such as in academic writing or professional correspondence, You might use the word odd to describe something that is unusual or unexpected. For instance, the professor was surprised by the odd results of the experiment, which seemed to contradict established theories. This sentence is a good example of how to use odd to add nuance and interest to your writing. In casual conversations with friends or acquaintances, you might use odd to describe something that is quirky or unconventional. For instance, I saw the most odd outfit on my coworker today. It was like they raided a thrift store and put together their own unique style. In this context, odd implies something that's a bit eccentric or playful. In business or academic settings, you might use odd to describe numbers or statistics that are not typical or standard. For instance, the company reported an odd number of defective products in the past quarter, which prompted an investigation into the manufacturing process. In this context, odd simply means unusual or out of the ordinary, and is used to highlight a discrepancy or anomaly. So, you want to learn about this concept that we use to describe something that's a bit unexpected or unusual in a good way? Think of it like a surprise party. At first, it might seem strange, but once you understand what's going on, it's actually really cool. The main characteristic is that it's not quite what you expected, but in a pleasant and interesting way. Some people also use words like quirky, unconventional, or funny to describe the same thing. When we say someone or something has this quality, we mean that they're doing things differently than most people would, which can be refreshing and make life more exciting. Ongoing. 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 So, let's talk about the word ongoing. As an adjective, it means that something is continuing to happen or exist at a particular time. For example, the project is ongoing and we expect to complete it by the end of the month. In common usage, ongoing is used in formal situations, like business meetings or official announcements, but you might also hear it in everyday conversations. One important thing to note about ongoing is that it emphasizes the continuity or persistence of a situation, rather than just its duration. For instance, if something has been going on for a long time, saying it's ongoing suggests that it's still happening now, not just that it lasted for a while in the past. Here are 3 practical example sentences using the word ongoing, along with a brief context explanation for each. I'm attending an ongoing art exhibition at the local museum that's been running for several weeks now, and I've heard it's really worth checking out. I'll tell you all about it when I get back. In this casual conversation example, the speaker uses ongoing to describe a continuous event or situation that has been happening for some time. This type of usage is common in everyday conversations with friends or colleagues. On the other hand, our ongoing research project on sustainable energy sources has yielded promising results so far. We're looking forward to presenting them at the upcoming conference. Here, ongoing is used in a more formal setting to describe an extended investigation or study that continues over time, such as a research project. So, you're trying to learn about this concept that might seem a bit tricky at first. Think of it as something that is currently happening and will continue for some time. It's like an activity or process that isn't finished yet. It has several key characteristics. It starts at a certain point in time, continues without interruption until a specific endpoint, and involves doing or producing something. This makes sense, right? Now, if you're familiar with concepts like still happening or in progress, these are actually similar ideas that mean the same thing as this one. In terms of how it's used, think about activities that take time to complete. like a project at work, a series of events, or even just an exercise routine, and you'll see what I'm getting at.